Talk about Sophie Cunningham making some comments about WNBA fans, what she believes fans may not have right about WNBA players, and how a lot of fans feel about, I would assume, hard plays, aggressive plays. I'm not quite sure.
The WNBA never anticipated a shakeup of this magnitude. What once seemed secure and untouchable is now being torn apart by stark, undeniable numbers, and a superstar who made the reality impossible to ignore. Caitlin Clark leaving is no longer just speculation, it's quickly becoming a financial earthquake the league can't simply dismiss. A new era is emerging, and every indicator points to the same undeniable truth. Loyalty struggles to compete when life-altering, record-breaking contracts come into play. Women's basketball is approaching a pivotal transformation, with one star's journey clearly stretching far beyond the WNBA's grasp. Sophie Cunningham's recent fiery statements have only poured fuel on the fire, escalating tension across the league and driving the situation closer to a tipping point. With mounting pressure, more influential players may now be discreetly scouting the fastest exit possible.
Last year had volunteered to join the Fever as Caitlin Clark's enforcer. And that's Angel McCoughtry. She played in the league forever. She's 39 years old now. And really good player. I mean, a 6-time All-Star, 2-time scoring champ. Averaged 18.6 points a game in her career. And she makes some comments about Project B that's very interesting. And I think she's saying the quiet part out loud, that some players may forego the
No one saw the landscape changing this quickly. Out of nowhere, a mysterious juggernaut called Project B has surfaced, ready to completely disrupt women's professional basketball. This isn't just another startup. It's a financial earthquake, offering deals that make every WNBA paycheck seem almost laughably small by comparison. Forget incremental raises and endless contract negotiations. Project B is swinging big, all in, targeting elite stars with money that feels almost unreal. Emergence hints at the start of a massive player exodus, athletes chasing life-changing financial freedom instead of settling for traditional boundaries. And who's in the crosshairs first? The league's brightest, most marketable superstars, the very players whose exits could redefine the WNBA overnight.
WNBA, not unrivaled, the W, in order to play in this new league. She also squashes the myth about, players have talked about, I want to be able to stay in the States, I don't want to go overseas, blah, blah, blah. She says that's kind of BS. That sounds like a negotiating tactic is what it is. So, Sophie Cunningham, let's check this out.
I'm not just speaking for myself. I think I'm speaking on behalf of probably the whole league, that when people see us competing and trying to fight to do anything it takes to win, because this is a hard league.
Few could have predicted the truth hitting this hard. Former WNBA legend and unmistakable icon Angel McCoughtry didn't drop subtle hints. She delivered the reality with razor-sharp, unfiltered clarity. Her words cut straight through the league's polished narrative, exposing the financial pressures players quietly face when shaping their careers. McCoughtry, who even stepped up as Caitlin Clark's defender last season, speaks with the insight of someone who's experienced every limitation the league imposes. Over her remarkable career, she saw the pay gaps, the compromises, and the tough choices athletes are forced to make. Now she's tearing the veil away completely, highlighting the massive financial gulf between current player earnings and the staggering, game-changing opportunities being boldly presented today.
Sophie Cunningham, let's check this out.
I'm not just speaking for myself. I think I'm speaking on behalf of probably the whole league, that when people see us competing and trying to fight to do anything it takes to win, because this is a hard league, that they automatically think that's what you're like off the court. People need to get to know us players more, and I think if they do, they fall in love with us. And so not judging the competitive side of us compared to our off court.
Just wondering, do fans do that? Because I don't. I'd never one time have I seen somebody's play and been like, they must be real nasty off the court. They must be.
Financial disparity here is nothing short of staggering. The WNBA's so-called max contract, a mere $90,000 for even its top-tier stars, barely registers as competitive in the wider professional sports world. But place that figure next to Project B's rumored minimum salary, a jaw-dropping $2 million baseline, and the gap becomes glaringly impossible to ignore. This isn't just a standard raise. It's a monumental, career-altering leap, nearly 22 times more even for players on the bench. That single comparison lays bare the WNBA's financial constraints, turning loyalty into less of a virtue and more of a risky gamble for athletes with fleeting windows of peak performance.
What else does the player got going on off the court? Do they take basketball seriously, or do they want to be a celebrity influencer? Well, you know what I'm talking about, right? So, I thought that was interesting and that you guys would want to see that. Let's go over here. This is the Good Follow podcast. Hell, go subscribe. It looks like it's relatively new. The lady on the left is Angel McCoughtry. Like I said, we're talking about a real force in the league. 5-time All-Star, 2 times.
No league in history has dared to make an offer this revolutionary. Project B isn't stopping at eye-popping salaries, it's introducing the ultimate game-changer, equity ownership. Instead of just receiving a paycheck, athletes are being handed a real stake in the league's future, a chance to own part of something that could skyrocket in value. This groundbreaking model turns players from short-term earners into long-term investors, directly linking their financial destiny to the league's success. For athletes chasing generational wealth and lasting economic security, this opportunity is nearly irresistible. When you compare it to WNBA contracts, where even top stars fight for $90,000 to $250,000, Project B's rumored $2 million to $5 million payouts completely redefine the decision-making landscape. Side by side, the numbers speak for themselves. No one would turn down life-changing money combined with ownership in a rapidly growing league. It's an entirely new level of financial power, and every player recognizes it instantly. The reality hit like a punch to the gut. Angel McCoughtry didn't sugarcoat it. She voiced the question every player secretly wonders: if someone offers $5 million, why risk your body for WNBA money? It's no exaggeration, it's a direct challenge to the league's entire value proposition. Why endure grueling travel, relentless physical strain, and modest paychecks when another league offers massive earnings and true long-term financial security? Her blunt, no-nonsense breakdown leaves every WNBA player, especially the superstars who can move entire markets, forced to reevaluate their priorities. When salaries jump from $50,000 to $90,000 to $250K, and then suddenly leap to $2 million or even $5 million with equity on top, the choice becomes almost painfully obvious. No rational athlete would turn down life-altering money combined with ownership in a league set for explosive growth like Project B. The deeper insight she hints at is even more eye-opening. Players have long demanded opportunities to stay in the US, avoid the overseas grind, and still earn serious money. Project B doesn't just meet those demands, it completely flips the landscape, offering a path that feels like smart, common-sense stability for the modern athlete. The reality check lands harder than anyone expected. Angel McCoughtry doesn't merely challenge assumptions, she tears apart the long-standing belief that WNBA players desperately want to stay stateside. For years, the league promoted the narrative that athletes prefer being home, using that story to boost newer leagues like Unrivaled. But McCoughtry exposes it as pure fiction. That preference, she explains, was always a negotiating tactic, a convenient story that completely ignored the true priority: massive, career-changing financial opportunities. The reality is brutally straightforward: players will go anywhere in the world if the compensation is right. With Project B reportedly offering $8 to $10 million for Aya Wilson or even $15 to $25 million for Caitlin Clark, the WNBA standard pay scale collapses instantly by comparison. When the stakes reach that level, no one stays put for comfort. They're chasing true generational wealth. McCoughtry speaks from deeply personal experience. She recalls her years overseas in Istanbul: unforgettable cuisine, vibrant culture, elite-level basketball, and nightlife that lasted until sunrise. It wasn't hardship at all. It was a complete lifestyle upgrade, combining international travel, top-tier competition, and massive paychecks. Her insight flips the narrative entirely. Playing in Europe, Asia, or even Africa isn't a sacrifice anymore, it's the perfect blend of adventure, luxury, and elite professional rewards. Project B simply amplifies that reality, placing it into an even bigger, far more irresistible spotlight. The moment the truth hits, the illusion shatters completely. A respected WNBA veteran like Angel McCoughtry tears apart the long-held belief that players simply want to stay in the US out of comfort or loyalty. Her blunt revelation exposes this narrative as nothing more than a convenient myth, crafted to hide the league's financial shortcomings. As she makes crystal clear, money, especially massive, career-altering financial power, rewrites every calculation. Suddenly, the focus isn't where you play, but how much you're being paid to play there. And when Project B enters with the kind of offers it's rumored to provide, the WNBA's leverage disappears overnight. Even domestic options like Unrivaled, offering around $250,000, are instantly dwarfed. Project B's $2 million minimum is nearly 9 times higher, meaning a player could earn the equivalent of 9 unrivaled seasons, or multiple WNBA max contracts, in just 1 year. This staggering financial gap doesn't just challenge the WNBA. It completely overwhelms every competing league. When even bench players can lock in $2 million guaranteed, the potential for true superstars becomes astronomical. The WNBA's entire pay model, and even its long-term viability, is suddenly at risk. How can the league hope to fill rosters when every athlete, from rising talent to established icons, has the opportunity to secure life-changing deals elsewhere? Without talent, the thrill of the game vanishes. When excitement fades, fans drift away. And without fans, the league faces a direct route to collapse unless bold, sweeping changes happen immediately. Now, attention turns to the true game changers waiting just beyond the spotlight. The numbers become absolutely staggering when you move past the average player. If someone in the middle of the roster can lock in $2 million, what does that imply for the WNBA's top-tier giants? Angel McCoughtry predicts a superstar like Aya Wilson could easily command $8 million, maybe even $10 million per year, under Project B. That's not just a raise, it's 8 to 10 times her current WNBA salary, a financial reality forcing agents and athletes into a full-scale, career-defining strategic reassessment. Then there's Caitlin Clark, the undeniable face of women's basketball, a generational talent whose very presence has skyrocketed the league's visibility. McCoughtry's projections for Clark almost seem impossible: $15 million, $20 million, even $25 million per year. These aren't just eye-popping numbers, they're a statement. They signify wealth capable of transforming Clark's future, her personal brand, and her long-term legacy in ways the WNBA simply cannot compete with at this moment. If she chose to leave, the league's momentum would take a devastating hit. To grasp the scale of this opportunity, compare it to her massive Nike deal. A realistic $20 million annual salary from Project B means Clark could earn twice her projected Nike income in just 3 years, income that would normally take 8 years to accumulate. That level of financial power doesn't just impact a single decision, it reshapes the entire landscape of her career. The financial stakes in women's basketball have never been higher. Project B is offering wealth and security at levels that make the WNBA's current structure look almost inadequate for its top stars. The league simply cannot compete, leaving its most valuable players seriously considering life-changing alternatives abroad. Claims that athletes want to remain in the US, promoted by players like Nafi Sakir and Breanna Stewart through leagues such as Unrivaled, are now exposed as little more than smokescreens. McCoughtry's blunt insights confirm what insiders have long suspected: it's never been about geography, it's always been about money. The notion that players would willingly forego multi-million-dollar opportunities overseas for modest domestic pay is now unmistakably revealed as a false narrative, a convenient story masking the WNBA's significant financial shortcomings. As the league struggles with this looming economic crisis, it faces another challenge: off-court controversy. Sophie Cunningham's recent comments sparked backlash after she suggested fans unfairly judge players solely on aggressive in-game behavior, overlooking their true personalities beyond basketball. While calling for understanding, her tone and implied critique of the fan base only heightened tension in an already volatile environment. Cunningham's controversy highlights a deeper rift between players and the very audience the league relies on for survival. Her statements suggest fans often misread on-court intensity as a reflection of a player's off-court character. She argues that if fans truly grasped the athlete's dedication and passion, admiration, even love, would follow. Yet Cunningham draws an important distinction: intensity is not the same as genuine, dirty play. Underhanded or unethical actions do reflect character, and understanding this nuance is crucial. Unfortunately, her initial sweeping statements risked alienating a fan base already skeptical of the league, adding yet another layer of tension and dissatisfaction. The fine line between competitive hustle and outright unsportsmanlike behavior is precisely where fan concerns emerge. While Cunningham argues that spectators often misunderstand the intensity required at elite levels, many fans are fully capable of spotting genuinely inappropriate conduct. By minimizing these valid concerns, her remarks risk widening the gap between players and supporters. This internal disconnect, between how athletes see themselves and how they are perceived publicly, further tarnishes the league's image, pushing potential fans away and complicating efforts to build trust and engagement. Everything is converging to create a perfect storm for the WNBA. The unprecedented financial pull of Project B, the collapse of the stay-home myth, and mounting tension between players and fans combine to form an environment where leaving the league is no longer merely an option, it's the overwhelmingly logical choice for any athlete, especially those with the star power to command top-dollar contracts. The league now faces battles on multiple fronts, struggling to retain its most valuable talent as opportunities elsewhere shine brighter than ever. This represents an existential threat the WNBA has never faced. Can it adapt quickly, overhaul player compensation, and repair internal rifts to keep its brightest stars? Or will the allure of multi-million-dollar salaries, global travel, and unprecedented career-building opportunities prove irresistible, sparking a mass exodus that leaves the league a hollow shadow of its former self? The potential departure of players like Caitlin Clark, driven by these undeniable financial realities, isn't just a looming possibility. The numbers indicate it is an inevitable force, set to redefine the future of women's basketball forever.